Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. My name is Ashley. I am a licensed professional counselor, and I am back this week to talk to the students tonight. I know tonight is game one of the NBA Finals, so I'm not going to keep you guys long, but I do want to address the students tonight. We did not leave you guys out. So first, before I start, I want to thank Dr. Granger and Dr. Waits again for giving me this opportunity to speak to you guys every month. And so I'm just going to hop right in. So, but before I do that, I know this is the season for the seniors to begin doing like senior night and homecoming and things like that. And all of that stuff is kind of up in the air right now. We don't know if you guys are going to get to do it or not. I just want you guys to know that I am here for you. I'm right there with you. And I know this kind of sucks that you don't get to experience your school year and your senior school year the way that you typically would. So I hope something that I say tonight will be encouraging, and it'll help you to cope and accept some of the stuff that you're not going to get to do this year, and some of the things that are being thrown at you. So I have my presentation here. So if you see me looking away, I'm just looking at my notes. So I just want to tell you guys that. So this isn't normal, right? The perfect title for everything that you guys are experiencing so far this year, this summer, the end of last school year. This is not normal. This is the first pandemic that I've ever experienced, so I'm sure this is the first for you as well. And we're just out here trying to make it. So I get it. So I hope something that I say tonight will help you, like I said, cope and accept some of that stuff. So like I was saying, I know school and summer looked a little different this year. Your regular day-to-day routines have changed significantly. 2019 school year didn't end how it typically would. You were kind of stuck in the house all summer. And the beginning of this school year is just not the same. So a lot of change has been thrown at you over the past few months. And so I just want to teach you some things that you can do. So last week, I talked about mindfulness and how it can help your parents and your teachers. But this week, I want to talk about how it can help you as a student. So first, I will review some of those principles that I talked about last week. So mindfulness itself is simply experiencing the present moment as it is without trying to change it. So the first principle I talked about last week was awareness. So all awareness is being fully aware of the moment that you're in, right? So I'm being aware of the stuff that's going on around me and inside of me, okay? Around me and inside of me. Then we talked about acceptance and change, acknowledging what you can change, what you cannot change, and putting that energy toward the things that you can control, okay? The third one was intention. So all intention is doing something on purpose, okay? I'm doing something on purpose. And then the next principle was non-judgment, right? So remember, I talked about our brains being little thought machines, generating thoughts all of the time. And some of those thoughts might be judging thoughts, right? So you want to make sure you shift into that awareness and acknowledge those judgments that can be affecting your mood as well as your behavior, okay? And then the last principle I talked about was compassion. Being compassionate toward others, as well as, and most importantly, being compassionate toward yourself. So how do you talk to yourself? What do you think of yourself? Are those things more negative than positive, or more positive than negative? And then self-care. Just like I drill self-care with your teachers and your parents, I'm drilling it with you as well. Self-care is important. Um, Self-care is just like, taking some time for yourself, just chilling out. But this is chilling out with just you, some me time, okay? So doing things that you like to do, and again, self-care, chill time, it doesn't have to cost money. So you don't have to ask mom or dad for money for anything to chill. You can just chill. Do something that you enjoy doing, something that brings peace to you. So that compassion and that self-care piece is extremely important when we're talking about mindfulness, okay? So that was a little short recap of what I talked about last week, okay? So mindfulness is all about retraining your mind and learning how to slow down. Do you ever have racing thoughts? So you have like thought after thought after thought after thought, and it's keeping you from maybe paying attention to what mom and dad are saying, or maybe it's keeping you from paying attention to what your teacher is saying, or maybe your mind has wandered off somewhere and you can't really even pay attention to what your friend is saying or what your friend is doing. So mindfulness is all about learning how to slow that down and retrain your brain. So maybe you thought some of the pressures of being a student, some of those pressures will be taken off in the middle of a pandemic, right? But maybe you feel more pressure now than you ever have. Maybe your mind is filled with pressures to perform, pressures to get good grades, the pressure to know how to deal with everything that's going on, pressure from your peers, maybe some pressure from your parents, from your teachers, or maybe just an overall pressure of just being a good kid, right? Just to name a few. That's a lot of pressure. And pressures like that can cause stress, anxiety, depression, maybe some anger and frustration, which then leads to, or can lead to, this kind of automatic reaction, right? So some of this might look like yelling and screaming, slamming doors, isolating yourself from either your family or friends, falling into peer pressure, suppressing emotion, right? Which brings me to the first point I want to address, which is reacting versus responding, okay? Reacting versus responding. So as humans, we are always reacting to things that are going on inside of us and around us, okay? So I want you to think about how you reacted the last time a lesson plan wouldn't open on your computer. Because I know you guys are doing school at home right now, right? Doing everything virtually. So think about the last time you reacted, or how you reacted the last time a lesson plan wouldn't open. Maybe you were marked absent from a class and you were actually there. How did you react? How did you react the last time you didn't get the grade that you expected when you studied really, really hard? Think about the last time your parents told you no and all you wanted to hear was yes, right? How did you react? Did you instantly scream and yell, slam doors, slam the computer shut? What did you do? Did you talk back to your parents, right? That behavior is called an automatic reaction, right? So what happens when you automatically react? What kinds of consequences do you experience? Okay. And I want to point out that consequence does not mean something bad happens. It just means I made a decision and something happened after I made that decision. That's a consequence. Okay. Now don't get me wrong, right? Automatic reaction can be effective. Okay. Like if you were to automatically step back, if you saw cars coming, so you automatically step back out of the way, right? That's an automatic reaction. You didn't have to think about stepping back, you just stepped back, right? And that's a very effective automatic reaction, okay? But what happens when I automatically react to mom and dad telling me something that I don't necessarily want to hear? For example, let's say you asked mom and dad, hey mom, can I get some money for a manicure? Hey dad, can I get some money? Can you buy me the new Jordans? I know that's very popular these days. Or hey dad, can I get the new PlayStation? Or hey mom, can you take me to go get my hair braided? Right? And let's just say they say no. The answer in that moment is no. Right? Being mindful is also about making mindful choices. Okay. So in that moment, and remember, when we talk about mindfulness, we are talking about the present moment, the current moment, right? So in that example, I asked mom for something or I asked dad for something, and they said, no, not today. We can't do that today. Or just no, we're not doing that. I'm not buying you that. We're not doing that. Okay. And let's just say, you're mad, you're angry, you're frustrated. You really wanted those Jordans. You really wanted your hair braided. You really wanted that PlayStation, and they said no, right? Do you think in this moment that an automatic reaction is going to get you what you want? Probably not, right? Because remember, automatic reactions, we're really not thinking about what we're about to say. We just kind of say it. And what if what I just say gets my phone taken away, right? So I don't want to jeopardize other things that I hold near and dear to my heart, like my computer, my iPad, my iPhone, right? We don't want to jeopardize those things because I can't get something that I don't want, that I want in this moment. Okay. So this moment calls for a response. Moments like this call for a response, not a reaction. Okay. And the response can simply be, okay, mom, okay, dad, I respect your decision. You might not like it, right? You really wanted those Jordans. You really wanted that PlayStation. But they said no. So no, maybe you don't like it. Maybe you don't agree. But a simple response would be, okay, I respect your decision. Now, two things are going on right now. You're responding in a respectful way, but you are angry and frustrated and maybe stressed out on the inside, right? We can deal with both of those things, right? You can respectfully, you can say, okay, mom, okay, dad. And you can also go to your room, have your feelings, right? Because your feelings are yours, okay? You can be mad, you can be angry, you can be frustrated, but it's all about how do I deal with how do I cope with what I'm experiencing right now? My mom and dad just told me no to something that I really, really wanted. I'm really, really frustrated. How do I not jeopardize other things that I already have? You know, how do I deal with what I'm experiencing in this moment, in this present moment, right? So that is reacting versus responding, okay? Some moments require an automatic reaction. I just need to do instead of think. Some moments require a very well thought out response, okay? You know your parents better than I do. What moments will be effective for you to react, and what moments will be effective for you to respond? Okay, only you can determine that. All right. So my favorite part. Okay, so one of the exercises that you can do to be mindful is breathing. I'm going to talk about three different breathing exercises tonight. Okay. So as we are, I encourage you to practice each breathing exercise with me. And if at any time you feel any discomfort, you can go at your own pace. Okay. And if you don't really feel all that comfortable practicing the exercises, you can kind of write it out or type it out, what the exercise is. And I would encourage you to do that, because after I teach you all of the breathing exercises, I'm going to issue out a little challenge. Okay. So before we get into that, I want to go over these breathing exercises with you. So the first one is called equal breathing. Okay. Equal breathing. This is great for sleep and relaxation. Okay. So what you're going to do, you're going to breathe in and breathe out through your nose. Okay. So we're going to inhale for 4 seconds and we're going to exhale for 4 seconds, but all through the nose. Okay. So do this with me. So you're going to breathe in and breathe out. Let's do it again. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your nose. Good. That is equal breathing. We breathe in through our nose and out through our nose, 4 seconds apiece. We breathe in for 4 seconds and we breathe out for a count of 4. Okay. That is equal breathing. The next one is abdominal or belly breathing. Okay. Abdominal or belly breathing. So this is a really good stress reliever. It's very helpful combating anxiety. It's really great to do before, like, if you're nervous before a big test. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is take your hand. Okay. And I know you won't be able to see me completely, but take your hand and place it over your heart like this. And then take your other free hand and place it over your belly button. So you really want your palm, this part of your hand here, placed over your belly button, and then your other hand placed over your heart like this. Okay. For abdominal or belly breathing, we're also going to be breathing in and out through our nose. Okay. So what you want to do is, when you take that inhale, when you breathe in, you want your the hand on your stomach to go up and down. Okay. So what we're really doing is we're filling up our stomach with air. Okay. So when you breathe in, you want your stomach, you want that abdominal area to expand, right? And then when you breathe out, your hand will move, right? And your stomach will go down. Okay. We don't want this hand to move. Okay. The only hand we really want moving is the one on our stomach. All right. So let's breathe in and breathe out. Okay. Feel how your stomach is contracting, how it's going up and down. You want to make sure these breaths are nice and slow and deep. Okay. So let's try it again. Breathe in and breathe out. I want you to see how my chest is not doing the movement. I know you can't see my stomach, but my stomach is doing all the moving right now. Okay. So breathe in and breathe out. Okay. You're expanding, or you're breathing into your stomach, into that abdominal area. So one more time, breathe in and breathe out. Nice. Okay. So that is belly breathing. Like I said, it's a really good stress reliever. It combats anxiety. It's really great before a big exam that you have to take if you're a little nervous. All right. So last but not least, this is probably one of my favorites, but it's a little involved. Okay. So this is called alternate nostril breathing. Now, you might want to blow your nose first if you have allergies or a stuffy nose. You might want to blow your nose first before you do this breathing exercise, okay? So first let me tell you what it is for. So alternate nostril breathing, it's really good to help you refocus, right? So if you find that your mind is wandering, maybe when your parents are talking to you, or maybe when the teacher is doing a lesson and your mind has kind of wandered off, right? This is a really good breathing exercise to use to refocus yourself, refocus your mind on the present moment. It's also really good when you wake up in the morning and you're still a little bit groggy. It's really helpful to kind of give you that boost you need in the morning to kind of wake yourself up. Excuse me. This will keep parents from coming to your room and saying, hey, wake up, wake up, wake up, right? This will keep them from having to do that, and you can wake yourself up using this breathing exercise. So it'll help you refocus and re-energize. So what you want to do is take your hand, okay, and you want to place your thumb. Oh, and we're going to first do focus on our right nostril, okay? So you'll take your thumb and cover your right nostril, and you're going to inhale through your left nostril. And then you'll take your pinky here and cover your left nostril and exhale out of your right nostril, okay? I know that might sound a little confusing, so we'll practice it. So we're going to breathe in through our left nostril and breathe out through our right nostril. I'll use two hands for the purpose of teaching you guys how to do this a little easier. So I'm going to just use my pointer fingers. So I'm going to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. All right. Really, I want you to notice that feeling when you finish the exercise and you then can breathe through both nostrils, how relaxing it is. So let's try starting on the other nostril, on our left nostril. So we'll cover this nostril first this time. So I'm going to breathe in through my right nostril and then breathe out. I'll breathe in and breathe out. And I'll breathe in and then breathe out. And let go and breathe. I felt really good. That feels really good. So that is alternate nostril breathing. Okay. Like I said, it's really good to bring your focus back into the room, back into the moment, or just to re-energize yourself, wake yourself up in the morning. Or if it's 2:00 and you've been to 4 classes and you're kind of tired, this is where you can implement that alternate nostril breathing. Okay. I would like to point out, when you slow your breath down, sometimes that can get, the effect can be a little tiring. It can make you a little sleepy. And that's okay if you're trying to go to sleep, right? So if you are sleepy, I want to point out, slow, deep breathing is only going to make you sleepier, right? So this alternate nostril breathing is a way to re-energize yourself, and get a little bit more pep in your step, okay? Wake you up a little bit. All right. So breathing will always be the best option if you are stressed or angry, need to relax, need to sleep, need to wake up. Breathing can always be your go-to because we're always breathing. Breathing is the thing that keeps us alive, okay? So that, and it's nothing that you necessarily have to think about. Now, some of these breathing techniques you might forget, so I encourage you to write this stuff down as I'm talking about it, so that if you're having a stressful moment, you can do some of the abdominal breathing. If you need to relax, you can do the equal breathing. If you need to wake up, you can do the alternate nostril breathing, right? Write some of this stuff down so that you don't really have to think about it. You can just look over and say, okay, that's all I need to do. If I'm trying to calm down, let me do some belly breathing, okay? We're always breathing. You can always rely on your breath to calm you down or to re-energize or to refocus, okay? That's what I really wanted to stress tonight, were those breathing exercises. One more breathing exercise actually comes to mind right now, and it's called progressive muscle relaxation. Okay, this is something that really, really helps you to relax. What you do is you tense up a muscle and you breathe in, okay? So you tense and inhale and then let go of that tension and exhale. So I'm going to use my fists for this example. So I'm going to clench my fists really, really tight, and I'm going to breathe in, and then I'm going to let them go and breathe out. Okay. So I'll do it again. And then one more time. For this one, I did inhale through my nose and I exhaled through my mouth as I was letting go of all the tension. Progressive muscle relaxation is the most effective when you either go from head to toe or from toes to head. Okay. So you tense up your toes and then just work your way up your body, and then you tense up your neck and work your way down your body, however you want to do it. But it's very effective when you can do like a full body scan, right? So I'm going to start from head to toe or toe to head, however you want to do it. And so you can, tense your shoulders and neck and breathe in, and then kind of let it go. And then tense up your chest, breathe in and let it go. And then just work your way down your body. It's very, very relaxing. So, you know, after a long school day or after a really long practice, it's really helpful after things like that. So that's called progressive muscle relaxation with breathing. All right. So the breathe challenge that I want to kind of put out there for you guys. I know you guys love a challenge, so I'm going to use that to my advantage here in this presentation. So this is going to be called the Breathe With Me Challenge, okay? If you want, you can type this out, but I will post it on the LISD page, Facebook page tomorrow, okay? So the Breathe With Me Challenge, I want you to practice your breathing, and I want you to get a friend or a peer, or a parent or a sibling, someone to breathe with you, okay? So I want you to first choose one of these breathing exercises that I talked about tonight, and I want you to use that or post yourself doing one of the breathing exercises with a friend, a peer, a parent, a sibling, whomever you'd like to choose, and post that video to the Facebook page. And the first person that does that will receive a little prize. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. I'll tell you at the end, but you'll get a little prize. So I'll put all of the instructions of the Breathe With Me challenge on the Lancaster ISD Facebook page, so you can breathe, right? Get to breathing. The whole point of this, I want you guys to use these breathing exercises whenever you think you need them. And I also want to make it fun for you guys too. So that's what this challenge is all about. It's called the Breathe With Me challenge, okay? And I'm going to post all the instructions on the Lancaster ISD Facebook page tomorrow morning. Okay, so be on the lookout for that. All right. So the next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is taking a tech break. All right. So I know we live in the age of technology. And I know that now, because we are in this pandemic, really all we have are screens. So we're binging on Netflix, watching TV, we're on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, right? We're on all the social media. You're doing your school virtually, you're constantly texting. So I get it. All you have right now is a screen. And especially like to connect with the outside world, with friends, teachers, and things like that, family members, right? All you really have is a screen, playing games to entertain yourself. So I know it's kind of challenging to step away from it, but it's really important that we give our brains a break, okay? Sometimes your brain just needs a break from all of that information, right? If your brain is being constantly flooded with information, it's going to be really difficult to learn how to for your brain to slow down and for you to be able to relax. Okay, so you're going to have to start taking some of those some tech breaks. Okay, so I would encourage you, for every hour you spend looking at a screen, at any type of screen, I want you to convert that into minutes and dedicate that to engaging in a breathing exercise. Okay. For example, if you're looking at a screen for 10 hours a day, I want you to dedicate 10 minutes a day to doing a breathing exercise. Okay. If you're on a screen for 12 hours a day, that would be 12 minutes of a breathing exercise. 5 hours a day, so on and so forth. Okay. So I want you to take some of that time every single day to dedicate to breathing. And this falls under that self-care category, okay? That compassion that I was talking about, that time out that you can give yourself, right? This is all a part of that, okay? So yes, dedicate some of that time daily to doing a breathing exercise. So the last thing I want to address, we are in the middle of a pandemic. And like I said earlier, I know this is really, really hard on you guys because you're not able to do the typical things that you would during the school year. And just the pandemic in general, right? What if I get sick? What if my mom or dad gets sick? What if some of my family members get sick? What if my friends get sick, right? It's really scary. This we are living in a scary moment, okay? And so I want to make sure that I acknowledge that this is really scary, and there's not really anything more than what we're already doing that we can do to keep people from getting sick, right? So I want to be sure to stress that it's okay if you're scared. All right. It's okay. I'm right there with you. It is okay to be scared. It's all about what we do with those emotions. It's okay to be a little bit anxious, right? A pandemic is anxiety provoking, right? This whole thing that we're living through, it is triggering. And I know it's triggering some stuff for each and every one of you. So I just want you to know it is okay for you to feel however it is that you're feeling, first and foremost, okay? Because this is scary. So if you're scared, if you're anxious, it's okay. Now, I know that being scared and being anxious and wondering and having all these what ifs kind of float around in your head is uncomfortable. I completely understand that. But I want to make sure that I stress that it is okay if you feel however it is that you feel. Okay. So I want you to use some of these mindfulness techniques. If you want to know more in detail about some of the techniques that I kind of briefly went over earlier, you can go back to last week's video. But you can start practicing, some acceptance, right? Some acceptance and really focusing on what can I change, what can I control, and what can I not change, what can I not control, right? We cannot control, people getting sick. We have no control over the virus itself, but you do have control over how you experience this. So if you're going out in public, put on your mask, right? Keep your distance away from people outside of your home, right? Those are things that you have control over. The more you focus on what you have control over, the more empowered and the more confident you're going to feel, right? But if I focus on these what ifs, and let me just say, what ifs kind of floating around in your mind are very normal. What if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? Very, very normal, right? That's just our brain. Remember, that's our brain doing its thing. But just because I have a what if thought doesn't mean I have to kind of go down the rabbit hole with that what if thought, right? So as soon as you notice, oh, I just had one of those what if thoughts, let me go do some of my breathing, okay? Or, breathing aside, you can always remove, maybe you've been sitting in front of a screen too long, right? Get up, move your body, go outside, walk to the mailbox. If you have permission, walk around your house, walk around the neighborhood if you have permission from your parents, okay? Talk to a friend, talk to your parents, right? a lot of anxiety and fear, it manifests in us because we don't talk about it, right? So remember, you always have the option to talk to someone. Talk to mom, talk to dad, talk to grandma, grandpa, a friend, an auntie, uncle, someone who'll listen, a teacher, whomever, and you can express to them how you're feeling. Using your words, expressing yourself is extremely important, right? As we've been talking about, you guys are already dealing with enough, right? So suppressing emotion is not gonna be helpful. It's just gonna add to the angst that you're already experiencing. Okay, so use these breathing exercises. Get outside, and like I said, ask for permission first before you do anything outside of your home. Okay. Taking a break from the screen, and please don't misunderstand me. I know that, screens are all we really have right now to connect with people outside of our homes. So I don't want that to necessarily be taken away from you, but I do want you to remember that if you're trying to retrain your brain, if you're trying to slow your mind down, right, you want to give your brain a break. Brain breaks. Remember that every day your brain needs a break. You take in so much information from school, and then just other outside information. So your brain needs a break. Remember to give yourself that. All right. So that's all I have for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, thank you, Dr. Waits and Dr. Granger and the Strengthening Families team for giving me this opportunity. If you want to know more information, if you have any questions, and if you just need someone to talk to, I am accepting clients at this time. My first 4 sessions are always free, and my website for more information is www.momello, MOMELLO.co. Okay, that is my website. And also last night, Dr. Waits posted a list of other mental health resources as well. So you have access to me, you have access to other mental health resources. We are living in very strange times, and this is not normal. But just know you have people out there ready and willing to help you in any way we possibly can. Okay. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight. And I will see you guys again next month. I will do another webinar for parents and another webinar for students. So thank you again. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night. Bye.